Gang, welcome back. Today we got a special video. I have a new drum kit. Well, it's an old drum kit, but it's like a new drum kit. This is a Pearl Export ELX. Now, the Pearl exports of the past are different than the ones of today. There is a difference, and I want to discuss it right now. The first drum kit I had was a Pearl Export EX. The EX was the standard wrap. It was a very nice drum kit. I ended up selling that drum kit. Practically, I gave it away because I'm just that kind of a guy. I love drums, and I'm blessed. I have so many drums. It was actually a good time to, only take a little bit of cash and just kind of move on from that, because now I was able to acquire different drum kits. Of course, they're all Pearl. I only like Pearl. I'm just a Pearl guy. It's like a Ford versus Chevy thing, but it's like, now that I'm driving my Ford, which I love my Ford truck, but sometimes I'll see a Chevy on the road, and I drove Chevys for a long, long time, so I'm very familiar with Chevys. And sometimes I'll see a Chevy, and I'll think, wow, just what a beautiful truck. Chevy's just a beautiful truck, especially the older Chevys, because I used to drive one. I'm familiar with them. So even though I like my Ford, I still admire the way Chevys look. Well, it's like the Pearls, I started playing Pearl, and it's just kind of grown on me. When I see a Pearl, I know what I'm looking at. I can tell you about it, and I know the details about them. Getting back to the models, going back to 2004, that was the year I bought my Pearl Export EX. It was actually in the charcoal metallic color. It was a 5-piece, really great value because it comes with all the hardware. The EX is the standard wrap. The next tier up from that, back in those days, was the Pearl EXR. The EXR was the radical wrap. Like my Pearl Silver Sparkle is an EXR. That Silver Sparkle wrap, it's a beautiful kit. I love my Pearl EXR. Step it up another notch, and Pearl had the ELX. The ELX was the lacquered finish. Now you're getting away from the wraps, and you're paying a bit more money to get a lacquered drum. And I've never had a lacquered drum before. I've always had wrapped finished drums, and there's nothing wrong with a wrapped finished drum. My Pearl Maroon Export from the 90s has a wrap on it, and it's a great looking kit. I have a Pearl ELX, the lacquered finish, and it's very beautiful. We're about to take a look at it here in a second. The top tier, the ECX. The ECX was the all maple shell in the lacquered finish. That was like the top of the line of the exports. The all maple lacquered export. I believe they only made those for like 1 year. There's not many of them out there. I've been searching for a long time, and you will very rare to find any of those. Kind of like this ELX. This is a whole 5-piece kit with the matching snare. And I picked it up because it was beautiful. It's a beautiful kit. Well, I have acquired a couple of ECX pieces that I have on my Zep kit that I painted black, from the Pearl ELX bass drum, 14-inch floor tom, a Pearl EXR 18-inch floor tom, and the Pearl ECX snare drum and 16-inch floor tom. I do have 2 pieces of Pearl ECX, but if you go online and look, very hard to find. There is a Pearl ECX snare drum out there in black for sale, and it's actually less than I paid for it. And I believe there's a blue tom. There's only a couple of pieces. But these are very, very rare drums. I don't believe going forth you're gonna find a complete Pearl ECX for sale. The Pearl ELX that I have today, complete 5-piece with the matching snare. It's very beautiful. And it's a blue metallic. It's a deep blue metallic. Almost like a sapphire blue metallic. It came with the 2 tom holders and the floor tom legs only. That's it. This kit here, I know I really don't need another drum kit, but I bought it because it just was, it stood out to me because I've never had an ELX lacquered kit, and these kits are hard to come by in the old, from the early 2000s. The new exports that they're making now, there's not many options. You have the Pearl EXX, which is the wrapped finish, and you have the Pearl EXL, which is the lacquered finish. They have 2 offerings, and they're making them in China now. So the lug casings are not the cool bridge casings, which I'm going to show you in a few seconds. It's just not built as rugged as the older exports were when they were making them in Taiwan. And this kit here is very rare. I was shocked to see a full 5-piece 22, 14, 12, 13, 16 configuration, standard configuration with the tom arms, the floor tom legs, with no scratches. This thing is like mint. It's in mint condition, and I picked it up. I'm not even gonna play on it. Like, this thing is just, I bought a bag set, and I don't buy bag sets, but I spent like $150 just on a bag set to put this thing in. I'm just gonna stow it away. This is like, some people have garages and they have classic cars. Well, this is like my classic car, except I don't have a garage, so I can't really have classic cars. But this ELX is like my classic car, and it is in mint condition. This kit here is just beautiful. ELX. And there's absolutely no rust on it at all. This kit is in mint condition. Mint condition. No rust. And you can see what I mean with the bridge lugs. there is a little gap under here where the lugs go. All the hardware is still shiny and clean. I can't believe it. Has the original Pearl black Rezo bass drum head on it. And it has all the Rezo heads on the tom, the Pearl Pro Tone heads. Whoever owned it actually did me a favor, and they put ambassador coated heads on. I'm very surprised because those are my heads right there. I love ambassador coated heads. That's what I play on. And he swapped out the bass drum head for an Aquarian Super Kick. Look, it still has the grip tape on the hoop. This kit has not been played on much. It's absolutely beautiful. The throw off is in good working order. No rust on any of the lugs. It's just a beautiful kit. Lacquered. My first Pearl lacquered kit. So this was like the deluxe model. Like I said, there was one better, the ECX, all maple. But that kit was a lot of money. I didn't even, at the time, I couldn't afford the ELX. So I just bought the EX. I think the EXR was like another 100 and maybe 150 more. The lacquered version was another 300. And I couldn't tell you how much the ECX was. You can see the metallic. Such a beautiful color. So that's it, gang. The ELX. What a beautiful drum kit. I just had to have it. So I'm going to park this car in my shed. I'm going to put these in the bags. And I'm just going to hold on to this thing. You know, in another 10 years, this thing's going to be an antique. Another 20 years, it's definitely going to be a classic. I mean, it's a classic now. It'll be an antique maybe in another 20 years. And it'll be absolutely in mint condition. And by that time, who knows, you know, maybe China will slack on their quality so much that Pearl just, you know, Pearl will always make good drums in my opinion, but it's not going to be like it was back during the 2000s. I believe this was around 2002 or 3 on up to 2006. So that's my video. I want to try to keep this one a little bit shorter. Thanks for watching. And I got those dark, thin crashes to talk about. I'm going to talk about those soon because I have a whole bunch of covers to redo. Now that I got my Rollins, I've deleted all of my covers that didn't get any views. I kept some of them that had a lot of views just as a remembrance of the Yamaha kit. But now I got this amazing Roland kit that just sounds wonderful. I'm going to redo all my covers, and it's going to take a while. So we got more content to go. Check out my other channel too, Nunchaku School. Over on that channel, I talk about some nunchaku, and I have a few sets that I'm showing, talking about how I got them, where I got them, and we're going to do some basic moves. And if you're into the nunchucks, Nunchaku School. So thanks, gang, all of my subscribers. I love you all. Don't forget to leave comments, and we'll see you again soon.